The story is about a small-town policewoman, Samantha Romans, and on the other side of town, in the city, is a woman who used to live in that small town, and she has been a journalist at some quite good papers, has stopped her life to have children, and has been trying to get back into her old job at the same level and just hasn't been able to.
Jamie's journey throughout the story is, you know, we meet her at the start of the story and she's got a fighting spirit, she's got fire in her belly, and she's really desperate to get her career back on track.
You're the one with all the awards. You're the world's best kids book illustrator. This is my turn, Greg.
To be honest, look, the story really spoke to me, and then the script itself about, you know, I hadn't really read anything like it where there's such a blurred line between the antagonist and the protagonist. And I enjoy a darker style of story. So, yeah, look, it really spoke to me.
There's not really a team you kind of barrack for, if that makes sense. You know, you're following these two women and their characters are so flawed, and you understand why they're doing what they're doing, and kind of throughout the movie you're flipping back and forth in between who you're kind of supporting and who you want to kind of prevail.
It's both women's story. They're both heavily invested in what they think is the appropriate thing to do. That's not morally right, but certainly, you know, they're both powerfully driven.
You know, we see female actors in warrior roles in sort of high fantasy or superheroes. We don't necessarily see, or we see women villains who are, you know, in fantasy, we see that. And the thing that's curious about the Romans character is that even though she is a villain, she's sort of, it's coming from an ethical, she's trying to correct the immorality of the world she finds herself in. So she's a vigilante in some sense. And
that's what I really loved about it, because I love that grey area that kind of you explore with humans, because none of us are completely bad, none of us are completely good. We've all, you know, we've all got our flaws, and yeah, that's what really, really excited me.
I really like the extreme way we tell the story, as far as, you know, you've got to remember humanity, and you've got to remember that these people are all humans with feelings, and you don't know the life they've led and what's brought them to this point.
I think this will have incredible appeal for international audiences for a range of reasons. It's very Scandi noir, I think, but also it talks about themes that are very, very current. You know, trouble happens and two people just go hard, and it just doesn't stop. The performances are so engaging. They're really beautifully pitched, these performances.
I think an audience member will definitely go on the journey of both characters. They will flip from side to side of where their alliances are. It's a psychological thriller that you keep guessing till the very end. And I hope that when they come out the other end, they'll realise that it is a story about humanity, that it is a story about caring for your fellow human. Sometimes you just need an extreme story to make people realise.